Stopping me, y'all. Not the greatest, I'm living by that philosophy. It's blood, sweat, and tears. It's sacrifice what I got in me. It's me against the world, so number one's what I gotta be. I swear that I just gotta be king. That is my prophecy. I feel like there's a God in me. Monsters can't even conquer me. Ready for war constantly. Label me as a prodigy. Never been modest, honestly. Come at me, what you got for me? I'm not lucky, I'm proving myself, I'm passing the test. See, I'll pass on the rest, so I can pass on the rest. There ain't no competition in this conversation, I guess. So you can never defeat me, I'm making autos look easy. I know this industry need me, I knock you out, leave you bleeding. I'm the greatest human being alive, don't gotta try. And if you step into me, say your final goodbyes, cause number one, that's forever. Defeating you is my pleasure. Who's stepping up on a center? Who's better, stronger, more clever? Who think they better than me? I'll say it twice, so remember. Dismembered, left in the ring. Better at everything. I'm a king's champion. It's my job just to win. And to the marks and the critics, pucker up, kiss my ring. MJF in the building. I'm better at everything. Remember,
You're listening to the All Elite Podcast, your favorite AEW fan podcast for in-depth analysis and discussions about the number one growing brand in professional wrestling today, All Elite Wrestling. This podcast is broadcasted live on YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch on behalf of the No Holds Barred Network. The network is your source for wrestling interviews and podcast content featuring independent wrestling and AEW. Also, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. So sit back, relax, and interact in the live chat. Enjoy the show.
How's it going, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the All Elite Podcast right here on the No Holds Barred Network. We are your number one AEW fan podcast delivered to you right here on the No Holds Barred Network, which is your source for all wrestling podcast content and more. I am your host of the podcast, as always. I am your self-proclaimed greatest host, Kyle Masters, and I'm always joined by my co-host. She is the EVP Giggles, the Heartbreak Chick, the queen of the indies herself. That's Tiffany.
I feel like I have to do like a new background now because like every time you do a podcast, you got like new shit going on, your background.
Moved. So I moved, well, not houses, but I moved rooms.
Yeah.
Now that I'm, because of COVID, working from home, I needed a little bit more space where I was in the last room. There wasn't really a lot of space. I needed kind of like give me the freedom here. I actually have like a bunch of room over here you guys can't see too. So I just moved into a sounder office and I improved the background, adding some shelving units and a big giant flag back there. But other than my background, which you're not here to hear us talk about, this is the All Elite Podcast. If you're new, this is where myself and Tiff talk about everything in that AEW world with friendly fan discussions and analysis. Make sure you guys are chatting in the chat and joining in on those discussions. We like to have fun here. A lot to talk about being the Elite, talk about Dark, talk about Dynamite, everything that's associated with AEW we love to talk about, and we do talk about right here on the pod. So yeah.
But now you got to change your poster of AEP now. Now you have to draw the new logo.
I know, yeah. So I got if you guys are watching on YouTube, that's actually the old logo if you're new. I actually like took a piece of Bristol board and drew up the logo myself. Some kind of artist I'm becoming. Now I got to do this new one, which won't take me long. It'll be easy. Hopefully. Maybe.
I remember you were so excited to like draw that too.
Yeah. But thank you guys for tuning in. If you're watching live on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch, however you're watching, thank you for tuning. If you're watching back, if you are downloading the episode on our audio platforms, which is brought to you by the No Holds Barred Network and all the amazing audio platforms you can find us on. You can find this podcast and all the other podcasts we provide here on the network, which includes a lot of indie wrestling stuff with Tiffany here, and of course, All Elite Podcasts here as well. And if you aren't on the Apple side of things, which is the Apple Podcast listeners, make sure you are giving us a rating. 5 stars would be generous. And leave us a comment on what you guys think about the podcast on the No Holds Barred Network. Helps us in the charitable side of things, so make sure you are doing that. And a big shout out if you guys heard that intro. That is done by Darren, a good buddy Darren of This Wolf. He does the song Dead to Me, which is our official theme song, and he lets us use it each and every single week. So thank you so much, Darren. You mean the world to us, and thank you very much for letting us use that theme song.
Yeah. Love it.
Darren's doing big things, actually. You said there's some sort of indie
really
24-hour stream happening, Tiff.
Yeah, so tomorrow GCW is putting out a 24-hour Fight Forever, and all the proceeds are going to all the independent wrestlers that are working that are not going to be working during these times because of like COVID and all that fun stuff.
That's huge.
So
Yeah.
So I was talking to Darren that he works with GoPro Wrestling. So I don't know how he's doing it. Like, I want to stay up the full 24 hours to watch all that wrestling, but it's like impossible. But if you can do it, do it. Darren is going to be working that tomorrow. It starts at 8 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. It's on YouTube free. It's also on Fight TV free as well. So definitely go check that out. It's going to be really
24
good.
hours of free wrestling, and the proceeds are going. I'm assuming they're taking donations, so the proceeds are going to support independent wrestlers who are affected by COVID-19 right now and are out of work. So this is huge.
Well, it's during the guys that are working the show tomorrow. So it's pretty cool. So make sure you and I'm sure you'll see some guys that you have seen on Dynamite going to be on it. They haven't announced everything. This week has been insane for all the matches and all the people that have been announced. So I don't know, there's gonna be a lot that hasn't been announced, so I'm excited. If you guys watch the other shows on the No Holds Barred Network, there's a lot of guys on it that I've interviewed on Under the Ropes that you'll see, so definitely check it out.
So thank you very much, whoever are interacting in the live chat right now. I see there's Darren.
Hi Darren. His ears were ringing.
Yeah, but I do want to shout out, there's a Mr. CH Punk. He actually put in here that RTM brought him in. RTM are actually a really cool wrestling podcast, so shout outs to them, guys. Go check them out, RTM Wrestling. They're my fellow friends over the pond there in the UK, do a wrestling podcast. They talk a bunch of wrestling. They talk WWE, AEW, New Japan. Cool couple there, Andy and Emma. We've been talking through the DMs, and like one day when we're all back to normal, we're gonna get together. They're huge. They're on board with AEW. They're massive fans now. So whenever there's like a big AEW pay-per-view, they're gonna travel to.
All right, we're gonna
go. We're gonna get together. We're gonna have a drink.
Nice.
But speaking of AEW, that's why you're here. here to hear us not talk about other shit, but talk about AEW. But you know, it's nice to talk about other stuff. But
we got everything out of the way.
Before we talk about things, just again, one last thing, guys. Make sure you are following us on social media. Big thing. Big socials here. All Elite Podcasts on Twitter. Like us on there. Follow us on Twitter. The most important one out of all three, the Twitter, is where we interact the most, at All Elite Pod. And then on Instagram at All Elite Pod as well. We like to throw up some pictures on there. Not a lot. I mean, I don't say we're not really big on the Instagram. It's really tough because, like, what are we going to Instagram, Tiff?
Well, we were Instagramming when we were doing the Full Gear Challenge a lot. Fat Pharaoh needs to make a comeback. I mean, like, maybe I'll start posting some pictures of Fat Pharaoh again because it's been a while. So since I brought him up,
since that you get, and you know, new people that don't know are like, what the hell is a Fat Pharaoh?
It's
This
Fat Pharaoh.
is Fat Pharaoh. If you're listening, come into the video version and take a look. This is our mascot. It is the fat version of Pharaoh, but with a PH. Let's be nice here.
Yeah.
And he's our podcast mascot.
Yes,
long story with him. But as for talking about AEW, we always kind of like talk about what goes on at AEW World before we get into Dynamite and other things. So actually a bunch of stuff
There's
has
a lot
happened
going on this week.
It just seems like AEW is getting into that. Since the beginning of January, AEW's been like full throttle. Like, I know there was obviously the sudden and horrible passing of Brody Lee that happened in the beginning, which kind of was like a hiccup on things. But, you know, the week right after, like, they set stuff in motion with everything from, you know, the teaming up with Impact, the further I can't even speak English. The further of storylines heading towards Revolution right now are going crazy, and it's just there's a lot of cool things happening with AEW. So one thing I want to talk about, I want to discuss, and I want to get you guys' opinion in the chat as to what this means. So I guess AEW has trademarked a phrase, and I'm thinking this is a pay-per-view name, I'm going to assume, or some sort of phrase maybe for a match, but they've trademarked the name, and they got it, Battle of the Belts.
Gonna be crazy.
Okay, Battle of the Belts. What does that mean?
Oh man, me and Kyle were talking about this before off air, and like the possibilities that, oh man, like we were talking about the whole thing with Impact versus like AEW.
Is this
like
what this
how
means?
crazy
Yeah.
would that be?
Belt
Me and
for
Kyle been
belt.
talking about this for like a while, that we would love to see maybe yearly of like another promotion work with AEW and have a pay-per-view just for it. I'm all for that.
That's the one thing I'm wondering, because Tony Khan has expressed many times before that he's good with sticking to the 4 pay-per-views, right? He doesn't want to go do any more than that. So I'm wondering if it would be an Impact pay-per-view or would be a special Dynamite episode.
I feel like it would be a special Dynamite episode because like AEW has always got these like special episodes.
Yeah. And they kind of teased, you know what I mean? It's kind of a coincidence that this trademark news is coming out this week, because you saw the tease on Dynamite with the Good Brothers and the Young Bucks, right? Like Young Bucks saying like, you know, if we win, maybe we choose, you know, you guys, and you know, they're both world tag team champions. So
I feel like just that alone just like gave away of how it's going to end next week. I don't know.
I want to sit here and say no. Like, I don't think they're gonna win, and there's so many teams in that battle royal that I'd love to see win. But the one thing is, actually, I have it here. Our my boys, SCU aren't in it, which that's what we thought originally was gonna happen, right? SCU versus the Young Bucks. Right. I guess that's not gonna happen. So I'm interested to see what the direction is here.
I really wish like that they wouldn't be in it. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like every time that I watch the Young Bucks, and you guys know I'm a huge fan of like the Young Bucks, and they're like one of the best, right, in the ring. But I'd love to showcase more of everybody else that's tag team. And like, I feel like they shouldn't, like, yeah, it will be great seeing them in the ring. And I feel like the chemistry, even last night with the 8-man that we had, like the chemistry alone for that match last night was amazing. And I love seeing that. But again, I don't want to take away from other tag team wrestling.
Yeah. So again, coincidence, Battle of the Belts. A couple of you guys in the chat chiming in on this. We got our girl Cuba Girl saying they're their version of the Clash of Champions. Mm-hmm. That could be something. our girl Margaret. I'm thinking that it'll be an interpromotional show with AEW Impact, Champs versus Champs, maybe. Our boy Kilroy, shout outs to you, Kilroy. It could be like the Super Bowl of wrestling. The champions of each show go up against each other once a year. So there's so many ideas they can possibly do with Battle of the Belts.
Yeah.
So I'm very interested to see what they do with this name. And I have faith. So far, everything's been good. So I have faith that it'll be something crazy, whether it be an Impact pay-per-view, whether it be a special episode of Dynamite. I think a cross-promotional champion versus champion matches, maybe not necessarily for the belts, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be, the winner's going to come out with both belts, but just have matches where, both champions are going to face each other one-on-one.
Would it even also be great to like open it up for like other promotions as well, not just Impact? Yes, we're getting a lot of work between Impact and AEW, but we're also getting NWA as well.
That's what I mean. They're advertising only Impact and AEW, and all of a sudden, like, the champions from Ring of Honor show up and NWA show up, and there's like this all-out war.
And then we have Rio's coming back, right? And it said coming soon, so it didn't even give us a date of when this match is going to happen as well. So could that be a possibility?
Yeah.
So
we'll talk about that. I got some thoughts about that. We'll talk about that. But Battle of the Belts, it was one thing. They had the AEW Awards. I don't know if you caught it. I tried, but I don't know if it's because I'm Canadian. But my BR Live, that I tried downloading the app and it just wasn't working. I couldn't open it. I couldn't watch it. I was just so upset.
I watched some of it because I forgot. I don't know what the heck I was doing. And I was like, oh crap, because I started scrolling through Twitter and then I was like, oh shit. So I was like, I logged in and I was like, okay. I was like, so I missed like some of it, but I caught like some of it. But even like scrolling through Twitter, you got to see what everything was going on.
See, I know they put it on YouTube, like the full show, and I haven't gone back and watched it yet. I'm going to have to, because I heard there were some pretty funny moments. But I do want to give a shout out to our friends at All Things Elite. Another good AEW podcast, guys. Check them out. They retweet all the awards, so I was able to retweet and keep track of them. So Bleacher Report pay-per-view moment of the year went to the Stadium Stampede.
Yes.
Female breakout star went to Hikaru Shida. Male breakout star went to Darby Allin.
I love when Shida was talking to Britt Baker and then Britt stole
I didn't see this.
I was like, I'm dead. I was like, this is great. And she just ran and like, so good.
Best moment on the mic went to Cody Rhodes, which, I probably would have guessed Eddie Kingston.
For the situation,
I think Eddie Kingston would have had a bunch of times where he came on the mic and cut good promos. Even Moxley.
I think for the situation, it made sense for it, but I don't think it was the best one. So,
High Flyer went to Rey Fenix. Biggest what the fuck moment went to, yes, we do swear on this podcast, went to Kenny Omega winning the world title and running away. The LOL award goes to the Young Bucks super kicking MJF into the pool. That was in the Stadium Stampede. That was pretty funny. I thought that was that MJF? No. Yeah. Or is that on the Jericho Cruise I'm thinking of? Was that
it was the Cruise. It was the Cruise.
Okay.
It was the Cruise.
Biggest surprise goes to Sting. Best
I don't think that was really that big of a surprise, though. Let's be real.
Well, sort of, because it was rumored weeks and weeks before, but no one was expecting him on that show, though. That's what made it a surprise. Biggest Twitter follow goes to Nyla Rose. She is funny. If you guys are following Nyla Rose, she's actually like straight up like hilarious on Twitter. Like, she gives like no fucks.
Yeah.
Hardest moment to clean up award goes to the parking lot brawl.
Oh my god.
Inner Circle is 2 of 2 on that night.
Yeah.
Inner Circle wins biggest beatdown for beating up Orange Cassidy. And that was it for the awards that were
there wasn't really like a lot. I still feel like Quinn should have won because he does have the best like his shooting star press is still my favorite. But again, I'm biased, so.
So those are the AEW awards. Another news, Revolution was moved.
Yes.
So it's not the last Saturday in February, which originally it was. It was moved to Sunday of all days on March 7th at 8 p.m. Eastern time. I have a little bit of news as to why. I guess that Saturday UFC is having a big event, so it would have clashed with that. Now, there is now talks of the NBA All-Star Game potentially happening and now being on March 7th.
Oh God.
But AEW has stayed put. They've sent it, like Fight TV is advertising it now, so it's set in stone. So it does make sense though, because like, what would you rather clash up against? UFC, which is a big draw. NBA All-Star Game is not really that much of a big draw, I wouldn't say. So
I mean, there's people, like, it is what it is. It's what you like.
It's not even, that's not even a for sure thing though now. So like, it's the safe bet the Sunday. It's just gonna be weird watching an AEW pay-per-view on a Sunday.
It's what it is. Ace said in the chat, Santana and Ortiz need to win the tag team battle royal and go challenge the Young Bucks at AEW Revolution. Like, I'm so on this with you, because I hate that Santana and Ortiz has not been like such a tag team as much lately. We need more Santana and Ortiz because they're so good.
Okay.
And like I said, I feel like we're gonna end up getting the Young Bucks winning next week. And then something also is telling me that we're gonna get Jericho and MJF, and I just don't want to see it unless
I'm gonna say my
it.
opinion, because I want to talk about it at the end, because I have like the matches for Beach Boss. I kind of want to do like a small prediction thing, so I'm gonna save my opinion for that. But yeah, that is true. Also, something cool. So on Wednesday, 3 years ago to the date, on Wednesday was actually the anniversary of when the Golden Lovers reunited. So this was tweeted out by our buddy Sammy there. So shout outs to him. Kenny lost the IWGP US title that night to Jay White in an incredible match. And there was the Bullet Club beatdown. And then Kota Ibushi came out for the save, if you remember that. So that was a cool history note. Had to do with Kenny Omega, who is now the AEW World Champion. So that's pretty cool. I was very confused, and I was tweeting out at the beginning of Dynamite this week that there was a lot of people experiencing a blackout, I guess, with TNT. For like first 20 minutes of the show where it's blacked out. And I was so confused. I'm like, what?
I didn't get that.
But Tony Khan, being the awesome boss that he is, put the full Eddie Kingston and Lance Archer match on the YouTube channel for people to go back and watch. So, thanks, boss. You're a gem. Let's quickly talk about being the Elite this week. I know it really wasn't much, but there was some funny moments.
I'm fading from BTE, to be honest with you.
But the goat background made me laugh right off the bat. Like with the goats in the background with the Good Brothers. That was funny. Like, they're like, what's up with the background here? And they kept changing it on them.
I like that there's like the beach thing.
Yeah, yeah, you guys like the beach? You're from California. And then the whole Christopher Daniels and Cutler fender bender, which Cutler hit a white van. They were unsure of who it was. And it was Christopher Daniels' rental.
But I love how, like, when he was trying to like clean it, and he's like, get away from the camera. And I'm like, this is so Brandon. I was like, like, again, me and Kyle met him in person and talked to him, and he's just such a cool guy. I can like see him just being like that.
In Pennsylvania plates or something like that? And I'm like, what? Why does he have like out of state plates on this thing?
That's usually how it goes, Kyle. Like cheaper insurance.
I know.
Especially when you rent a car or something like that, it's never the same state. Because think about it also,
Tiffany, stop giving it away.
Picking up a car in one state, and then sometimes people don't drive it back to like where you pick up the. Okay, now I'm getting really technical. Okay, let's move on.
Your boy Johnny Hungy was lit again. So it just seems like every time they do a BT championship segment, he's lit. They did like the hanging competition. Like they just think of random stuff to do. They played beer pong with bottle caps last week.
Well, that was because like Brandon Cutler didn't know that you needed the balls for beer pong, so he gave them one of the caps.
But then this week they're hanging. So now they have like a number one contender. Anyways, Statlander Jungle Boy is pretty funny. The Mentos experiment, that was funny. And then Private Party and the Young Bucks kind of had like a little thing going, and Young Bucks saying, "Oh, no, you're heel now. You guys are heel." Then Matt Hardy coming in, and the whole thing with Big Money Matt and Private Party, I think has been good. I'm liking it.
That's good. It's like I say, for me, it's so weird to see them like heel.
Yeah.
So, but I think people are starting to get on board. I'm still gonna shout out my boys, Hill Pops and Chair Shots, because we fight all the time about Private Party. You're my boys. I'm always gonna fight them with Private Party. So, but I think people are getting like behind it. I mean, I like Babyface Private Party, but it's gonna be interesting to see where they go.
Heels.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this.
Dark was dark this week.
Dark was dark.
It was dark. Couldn't see anything. I don't know what they were doing. I couldn't see for an hour and a half. It was just dark.
Oh God.
But there was actually something cool that happened on Dark. So the first Nightmare Factory, which is the wrestling academy that the Rhodes family started, the first graduate, Brooke Havoc, made her debut, and she faced Britt Baker, which kind of sucks. Like, I know she's not going to beat Britt Baker because of her momentum right now, but I think she has a bright future. She's very young, so there's a lot of potential in her. I mean, that was her first wrestling match and AEW debut, so it was like her first wrestling match ever, and her AEW debut all in one, and faced Britt Baker. So good for Brooke. Hopefully she trains, gets better. We could always use more assets in the women's division, and she ends up being like a very good prospect. Hey, I mean, she's a first graduate, so I'm assuming that she's some sort of prospect that they like to graduate her this fast and then put her on Dark right away and make her face Britt Baker.
Yeah.
Just my assumption. So.
But you got to start somewhere too. What better way even to start with Dark? So eventually you're going to have your first match, and just think about it. It's on YouTube. Like, people are watching it, and it's great. So good luck.
So moment of truth. Let's talk about it. Dynamite.
Wait. So we did talk about because even during the awards, the whole thing with Shaq. So it was on the award ceremony, and then they showed it like Shaq calling out Cody.
I didn't see the awards, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Huh?
I didn't see the awards, remember? So
okay, but it was on the awards, and then they showed it on Dynamite with Shaq calling him a little punk, and I was just dying. And then I started seeing social media flipping out, going, "You little punk,
you little punk."
I don't know. Do you really want to see this?
Well, I wasn't going to start with that, but I guess I will.
I don't know. I just, because I put a big on my notes in big about it because it was on the awards. So I wanted to bring it up then. So it was first thing.
I know. I've seen the back and forth on wrestling Twitter with this whole Shaq nonsense. And you know what? I can't sit here and say I like it, but I get it.
Yeah.
I understand what the company is doing here with trying to get eyes on the product. Right. I don't have to like it, but I understand it. And I just have one question, though.
Okay.
And it was answered through wrestling Twitter, which I shouldn't have to go through wrestling Twitter to find this out. I should, AEW should come out and say it. My question was, why are Jade and Shaq together? What's the story there? They haven't come out on TV and said why. You know what I mean? Jade's just oh yeah, Shaq's with me. I was like, the people that don't know, people sitting there like me, I'm going, what? What does that mean? Why are you guys together? What's the story here? They haven't really explained that. So I looked it up, and apparently she is Shaq's personal trainer, for one, and apparently she's a former WNBA player that Shaq has endorsed, or did endorse, or whatever. So I shouldn't have to look for that. You know what I mean? I feel like they've had enough TV time by now that we should have had an explanation as to why Jade is with Shaq. If Jade's this bodybuilder type wrestler that they hired for the company, it's going to be a big woman in the division and they make a big deal about, why are you giving us no explanation as to why Shaq is here? He's just here. So I felt like we need more of an explanation to that, so I had to go digging. But as for Shaq and Cody,
that is interesting because that does bring more eyes also on her end as well. So it's pretty interesting.
And then it looks like a Revolution is going to be Cody, Red Velvet versus Shaq and Jaden. I get it. Shaq's not going to be, the guy coming out here doing, high knee kicks and super kicks and, moonsaults. I understand what this match is a showcase match at the pay-per-view. It'll be the match to get people to tune in, the casual viewers, the people who don't necessarily watch wrestling. They're maybe watching TNT or watching whatever he's bringing over from ESPN, which is a big thing too because Shaq's on ESPN. So he's bringing in that ESPN audience over to AEW. So that's another thing, the ESPN audience is hearing that Shaq's going to be on, pay-per-view wrestling in AEW. People are like, okay, let me tune into that. Let me see what's going on. So again, it's going to be a showcase match just to put eyes on the product. And you don't have to like it. It is what it is, but you have to understand
just said it's probably going to get eyes on March Madness coming up too. So it's a great business, plan here. So it's not going
to be the main event. People shouldn't be freaking out. This is not going to be the big spectacular main event of the show. It'll probably be mid-card.
Entrance.
Oh yeah, Cody's going to have Snoop Dogg's going to come back and
oh no.
Shaq's going to have a giant entrance too. I don't know what they're going to do with him and Jade.
Shout out to Queen of Betty because I was just dying with the whole thing with him jumping off the freaking
oh, the puff splash, we're calling it.
I'm dead, man. Me and Queen were talking about it. I'm like, I said, I remember she texted me days later and she's like, I'm catching up on Dynamite. I'm like, did you watch Cody's match yet? And she's like, no. I was like, text me when you're done watching this match. I was like, and then she's like, oh my God, what was that like?
The puff splash.
Puff splash.
But Dynamite was actually taped this week. I know we had that thing last week saying it was live. So last week was live. This week was taped.
Right. Yeah.
Again, it's really confusing as to, unless this was originally taped from the original move, when they were going to move. So this was already taped. And now they're not moving, so they had to show this anyways. I don't know. It's weird.
I think everything got thrown off also, like I said, because they had to add an extra week because of the pay-per-view as well.
And this was a good episode. This was better than last week.
Yeah.
This was really well done. Except the only thing I have a gripe with is, I don't know, you're on the TNT side, Tiff, right? You watch it through TNT?
Yes.
So I had no picture-in-picture whatsoever through the entire show. I didn't see anything.
Oh, wow.
Nothing.
Isn't it interesting how people even listening to this, you guys are all over the place, and how that is. Kyle's watching through. Were you watching it through Fight?
TSN.
And we're watching it from. I'm watching it from TNT. So how crazy is that?
Yeah. And I had no picture-in-picture whatsoever. So I don't know who to blame here. Do I blame TSN or do I blame AEW? Who do I blame here? Because I was left in the dark. Okay.
Sorry.
Anyways, so speaking of being left in the dark, imagine I seen a bunch of people being left in the dark for Archer and Kingston, which ended up being a really, really sick match. It was physical, like we knew it was going to be. There was a very scary spot though that I thought originally that Kingston smashed his head off the apron. There was the choke. He choke slammed him over the ring or over the ropes and outside the ring.
Oh my God!
And I had to watch the replay to see that he hit his hip.
Yeah. Thank God that they had that other angle during it as well. But my God, that was scary. When you first saw it, and then when you did see the replay of it, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I thought he hit his head. I instantly, I'm like, man, he's concussed. That's done. But thank God he didn't. And Kingston ended up winning off a cheap though.
But I loved when Archer threw Eddie Kingston into the cameraman, and I just died. Died. I couldn't stop laughing.
That's clever. You never see that.
Those are the best moments. I feel those are always the best moments because it's least expected, and I love that interaction with the wrestler with the camera. It's so important. These are the moments that crack me up. But that was great.
And then so it was cheat to win. The Butcher and the Blade coming out looking like White Mario up on the stage there again. having clothing issues, midlife crisis clothing issues. One week they're in black leather, kinky stuff, and then the next week they're coming out as Bob the painter over here, going to be painting your house. I figure it out. They're picking on tire and stick to it. You know what I mean, Tiff? Both the tires don't work with each other. If it was both the tires that were the same and it was just two different colors, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But the fact that they come out as Dominatrix one week and then, Joe Painter painting your house the next week, I have a problem with that.
Oh my God.
I have issues with that.
Kyle's triggered.
I just I'm sitting there, okay, do you guys have an identity crisis? What's going on here? Why is there no explanation on that?
my god! Why don't you tweet them that?
I don't want to. I don't want to get in their bad side. Anyways, this was actually the first time we've seen Lance Archer like beat down in ever in AEW. He's always been that guy to like destroy people. This was the first time that he's been beat down.
Yeah.
Like after the bell, and they kicked the shit out of him.
This was good.
That was different. And like freaking Jake Roberts crawling there, like trying to grab the rope. He's just staying in the back, man. Every time he comes out, I fear for him, man. he just looks like he's gonna blow a gasket every time he comes out. God, just keep that guy in the back. Like, please protect him. And stop making him look dressed like that, too. So you talk about midlife crisis. You got Jake Roberts coming out here, looking like he's ready to go to the club in his 20s.
Oh, my God.
God, just so much.
I can't. Oh, God,
Well, Tiff
okay.
collects herself. We'll move on here. Talk about Moxley's promo.
Oh,
Speaking of
my
confusion,
God.
he's just as confused as we all are. He sat there pointing out all the confusion through everything, like with the elite, like the whole elite situation. Like he literally explained in detail, and I sat there going, "Oh yeah, that's true. Like there is confusion here." You know what I mean? And he kind of just laid out in a line, and I tweeted out, he's basically the king of speaking truth. Like Moxley's promos are straight to the point, full on truth.
Yes.
I just
April, he said sex in the morning
I
is the
was just going to say,
day.
I have a question. Tiffany.
Yes, you should start with sex in the morning to start your
Why?
day. Because
Why is that a thing?
Because you start the day happy. So it's like,
I am grumpy in the morning. I don't want to have sex.
what?
I push you off the bed and like, get off. I need to have my coffee. Oh God, Tiff's just broken.
I can't with you.
Serious question though. I don't have sex in the morning. There's no.
Well, maybe you should. Oh God, I can't.
I'll wake and bake before I wake and rock. Okay. I'm talking my 420 fans too. Sweet.
Oh my God, I fucking can't with you today.
Anyway, so he's pumped up for the match. He's really excited.
Oh,
Good for Moxley, and he's apparently excited for sex in the morning.
Oh God. I'm done.
Let's talk about the hoodlums. The hoodlums. The brats.
Oh,
We don't give a shit about nothing.
Oh God.
Sting and Darby. The hoodlums. Love the chemistry, though. I love the look. The chemistry between these, like the whole like grungy background. See, this is what I was saying. Remember I was saying all this? Like, I can't wait for these guys to partner up, and they do all these like crazy grungy vignettes. And this was cool. So they did the whole like, like, oh, Team Taz and Taz calling us hoodlums. Yeah, we are hoodlums. And smashing the windows, like Darby throws his skateboard right through it. Well, you just lost your skateboard there, bud.
They probably ran out of snow.
What? Oh, the snow. Can you imagine if they smashed the windows and snow just started coming out?
Oh my God, that would have been great.
Yeah, why wasn't it snowing in this promo?
Snowing.
That's
like,
what it was
I
missing.
feel personally attacked right now.
Damn snow.
Oh shit.
So, they're pumping up the street fight. And like on Team Taz's side, that was funny too. Like I was dying with the whole. Okay, why is there a random merch stand in the parking lot? Can we bring that up? Why is there a random in a dark black parking lot with one light? Why is there a random merch stand?
COVID.
What?
Listen, you came to New York. We went to NXT together. There was a merch truck randomly outside.
Okay, this was like there's nothing else around.
It was a skit, but
I know, but it was still funny. And then they, poor merch guys, they got shit kicked. And the one guy actually got, what was funny though? They pulled the whole. Remember back in WCW when Mysterio got lawn darted by Kevin Nash into the trailer? They did the same thing with the one merch guy.
I didn't watch.
Oh,
WCW.
Tiff.
I don't even know.
It's an iconic moment in WCW. Got to go back and watch that.
I agree with Daniel in our Facebook chat. He said, "When is Team Taz versus Darby storyline going to end?" They have been prolonging this a little too long. It's like end already. Like
So that's my question.
Pull the trigger.
How good is this street fight going to be? Like we know it's going to be full cinematic because Sting's going to be there in his walker, so he's not going to be wrestling in the match.
Yeah,
the home's going to be wondering where he is, so he's not going to be out all night.
Oh my God, I can't. But we need to start defending this TNT championship belt, right? Like Cody was on every freaking week on Dynamite with his 20-minute entrance. But he has we haven't even seen anything with the TNT championship belt. Can we then drop it to somebody else then? I don't know. I just don't feel like this is relevant. It does nothing for the belt. Yeah. And then the FTW belt, I'm still like whatever.
I think you're okay to say whatever because I don't think that's supposed to be a thing.
It's so stupid. Sorry to all the fans that are behind it, but it's like nothing. What did it bring? It brought no meaning to AEW. Unless you're gonna start defending it in AEW, it has no meaning. Especially to I said, me, I didn't even know the background of the belt before because I was just into WWE and that's it. That's all I watched. And then years ago, I started watching independent wrestling. So it has no meaning to me.
How dare you?
You'll be all right, okay?
I'm gonna be furious.
The Muffin Man.
Anyways, nope. I don't know. I'm interested to see how good the street. I mean, they have had good luck with cinematic matches so far. Yeah, they've all been really good.
They've been really
so
we've had some really entertaining.
I have faith that it's going to be good. They're going to pull out all the smokes and mirrors for Sting. He's going to look incredible. So I think it has the potential to be good, but I hope that will be the ending. You know what I mean? I'm agreeing with what Chris said in the chat. I think this and hopefully should be the end of this. Darby should move on. Start having I think he's got to have his big time feud after Revolution to lead to Double or Nothing for that TNT belt.
Okay,
I think
so
we're gonna get that.
Who is your thought process here? Because I feel like if he's gonna drop it, it needs to go onto Ricky Starks.
I don't think he needs to drop it, but he just needs to have another feud. I think he needs to
drop it to somebody.
What? That's too, you were crying for him to have the belt for so long. Now you want him to drop it. But that's what I mean. This is what this thing is gonna do. It's gonna start to feud with someone so that he can prove to you why he should be the TNT champion, Tiff. Not just because he's in a feud now. He should drop it. He's in a shitty feud. Drop it. He needs to show why he should be the TNT champion. He hasn't had that opportunity yet. So I think after this feud is long and gone and Team Taz is out of his life, he can start defending that belt and proving as to why he should be the TNT champion. And I think that's what we're gonna get after Revolution. I feel like there's gonna be something big. It's going to be somebody, and he's going to have a big-time feud because they need to start elevating that TNT championship even more after this. So I feel like they know that, and they're going to do that after Revolution.
Yeah. Brad says he's going to feud with Sting after Sting turns on him.
No, I don't think so. That sounds like a WWE thing. That's not going to happen here. They put a lot of faith in Darby. They're making him the face of TNT. They're not just going to do something like that. I think it's going to be something else. Somebody's going to come out and they're going to have a feud. Maybe it'll be a guy like a Jungle Boy, or it's going to be something else.
Jungle Boy needs a damn singles run. Completely.
Yeah.
Don't you agree? He really needs a singles run.
Well, especially with that theme song.
Good. What?
That theme song could just get him over by itself.
Oh my God, I love that the crowd was singing it the Tarzan song the whole.
I knew the Gun Club. I knew as soon as that theme debuted, I'm like, okay, the Gun Club are gonna be obsessed with this song, and we're gonna hear them chant it every single week. And throughout the whole match this week, you just heard Austin, his brother, and his dad going, whoa, 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 whoa. But imagine when crowd's back. Oh God. He's going to be big. He's going to get, transcended into the next level. And he's that good. He has the skills to back that up. Because him and Dax had an incredible match on Dynamite this week. That's going to be, the best singles match of 2021. I know it's only been a month. It's been the best singles match so far. Like that was very, very good for from two guys who are normally tag team wrestlers. That was a very good singles match.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really, really good. Everybody was like marking out. I saw it on social media. And again, like I said this when we started All Elite Podcast, when we started getting it Dynamite. And I love the fact that we are seeing a lot of tag teams getting those opportunities to shine as a singles person as well, not just tag team. Yeah. So I really like it because then you get to showcase that one person's ability.
It's an interesting concept. They had like Luchasaurus, Tully, and Cash all like locked in handcuffs.
You're right.
And I was like, okay, that's interesting. And then I thought Dax somehow would get the win. I just, when it was getting down near the end of the match, I'm like, oh, how is Dax going to win? Back of my head, I'm thinking like, are Tully and Dax going to get free and like handcuff Luchasaurus to something, and then they're going to cost the match? I felt like something was going to happen. I didn't think that Jungle Boy would win clean off a submission. That was awesome. I loved it, and it was a very good way to put him over. Man, what they did after was even crazier. They handcuffed poor Luchasaurus and cut his damn horns off. My God. My God.
I was thinking about it. I was like, I wonder how many masks he really has. And like, I wonder how much each mask costs. I was thinking this last night. I was like, the things that go in my brain. And
you know
what's
going through my head?
Sucks.
What? BT is going to be funny this week with horn skits.
Oh boy.
There's going to be like a funeral for his horns or something.
Oh God.
Hey, give me a shout out if you guys are watching and you steal my idea.
Oh boy.
But that'd be funny. I still would laugh.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be something big with the horns. He's going to have, I bet you next week he's going to wear the same mask and he's going to have like medical tape over the over the horns. Well,
they had the whole thing with the tail going on, so maybe like when he lost his tail.
But that was just like, that was well done, and they had like SCU, Top Flight, and Marco come out.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I really, really enjoyed that match.
Cut Jungle Boy's hair. How dare you? Like, really?
Not those precious golden locks.
Shit. Girls like want that shit, man. Like,
man, Luke Perry's son, man.
Question, these guys that do nothing like with their hair, and it's like we have to go through everything that we go through as a female to like have beautiful hair, and we're so jealous of like these guys with this gorgeous long hair. Like, seriously,
Amy, nothing up top, got nothing. Anyways, yeah. I'm not gonna lie, Jungle Boy without the chops, good looking fella, man. Luke Perry's kid looks exactly like him. Crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Speaking about fella, Hangman Page,
yes.
The most sought after star, I guess, because God, this guy is just can't get away from anything. He has a match with Ryan Nemeth, and I was curious as hell because I'm like, okay, why does he look familiar? Why does his name sound familiar? Let me look through wrestling Wikipedia, and sure enough, this guy is the brother of Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And why does he have to come out doing exactly Dolph Ziggler things? I'm like, don't you want to be different from your brother? Why do you got to come out doing the same antics as your other brother? Like when he first started out. I don't know. I was just like, I was weirded out. But he had a match with Hangman Page, which Matt Hardy actually came out to scout most of the match. So that kind of intrigued me. I'm like, oh, okay, now why is Matt Hardy out? And we saw after the match, he started like, he didn't really like ask him to join, but you know what Matt Hardy was trying to do. You know what I mean? Like everyone, I guarantee that everyone, I know you were too, Tiff, like everyone in the back of their heads were like, okay, we know your motive, Matt Hardy. We know you're not just here, feeling bad for Hangman Page. Like, oh, you can use my locker room. It's a big one. You don't have to be in the hallway across from catering. Nah, we know Big Money Matt. We know his antics. We know what he's trying to do. So like, poor Hangman, man. He had dealt like in this last year. You think back to like the stuff leading up to last year's Revolution to now. He had to deal with the whole Elite thing and the Kenny thing, and he had to deal now with the Dark Order stuff. And, now with Big Money Matt is being added to this because that's going to keep going. The guy can't catch a break.
I still wish that he joined the damn Dark Order.
I think he will.
Like,
I don't think that's over. I don't think we're over with that. I think it's going to be like he's going to get two. He's going to get two contracts. He's going to get like a Dark Order contract and a big money Matt contract, and I think he chooses a Dark Order. I don't think that's over.
This is the rebuild of Hangman Page. I feel like we're gonna start getting that rebuild of him, and like that's where like this is my want, is that I want him to go after the TNT Championship belt. That's what I want. We've been talking long-term booking.
So maybe Hangman comes out and challenges Darby on the first
Dynamite after
Revolution.
Not yet though.
I said after Revolution.
Double or Nothing. I feel like would be kind of cool. So, because like I said, that obviously if he takes it off of Kenny, it's got to be big.
Yeah, they're saving.
But I think it needs to be that slow build of Hangman Page because it's going to mean more.
It looks like they're saving that because we thought it was going to be for Revolution. Yeah. Clearly, they're going in a different direction. So we'll see what happens with that. What else happened? The inner circle. So first off, Varsity Blondes are sick. I've been loving them the last couple of weeks. They've been getting a lot of momentum, and I think they could be some serious players in the tag team division. Giving them all the credit in the world because they look good. Jericho hitting the Judas effect and then adding in a clean lion salt. And you saw after he did the lion salt, you see what he did? He looked right into the camera with that smirk. That was to all the trolls that have been ripping on him from last week, saying like he didn't look good, he was botching, and Jericho knows how to like give it back to the trolls, but like without even coming out and saying it. Like he's clever like that. So I thought that was funny. I don't like the mix theme between him and MJF. Not a fan.
Yeah,
it's just too fast. It just sounds too fast and. It sounds bad. I'm on Sammy Guevara's page now. I'm Team Sammy. This got to stop.
Yeah.
But I guess everyone on the inner circle's on the same page except for MJF and Sammy, and they had that whole backstage thing with the bar scene, and you kind of see what MJF said. He's like, you don't want to go there. So, and Sammy says, I know what you're trying to do here. So it'll be interesting to see where it goes, but it needs to come to an end soon.
Yeah.
Like, when is this going to come to an end? Like, when are they going to finally... I hope Revolution is the time we finally get the answer. Is the Inner Circle going to break up, and what's going to happen with the Inner Circle? Because, like, they can't drag this out any longer than that because people are going to get sick and tired of it quick if they continue after Revolution with this. Like, we're already sick and tired, but people are going to get even more sick and tired of it. If they want to continue this after Revolution, you can't. I think Revolution needs to be the time where we get a decision made with this.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. Britt had a match with Shauna.
Yeah.
However you like to say it. She looked good. Glad she's back. I mean, back when she was with AEW before COVID, like she was, I thought she was a good asset with the women's division. She's good. She's not great, but she's good. So I think it's good to have her back to have these matches. So that's an improvement. And Kenny's been touted it lately, and Statlander came out and said it lately as well. Like, it's gonna take time. People that need to be patient with the division. Slowly but surely, they're gonna build it. So, Shauna is a nice piece to have with your women's division. So Baker wins, and then we have another after-match beatdown with this. I kind of felt like they should have done something different. Like, this is the last thing before your match next week at Beach Break. We've already seen the beatdown after the match already. Like, this is already something they've done. I felt like they should have done something else on top of this to build for this match, because they only have 4 booked matches for next week. One of them's not even a match.
Yeah. I don't know, but like, what have you done?
What I would have done? Something else. Like, maybe have a waiting room, and maybe like Britt had another guest and Thunder Rosa shows up.
Door.
And then Thunder Rosa shows up and then, just throws maybe like Britt through the set. Something else than just a regular aftermatch beatdown where the people run away. And it's like, I've seen this too many times before. You're trying to get us hyped for this feud and it's not really doing anything. I don't know. I felt like they could have done something creative. I shouldn't be the person to come up with more creative stuff here. I'm just saying, like, we've seen this before. I expected something different. Anyways, so speaking of the woman, you mentioned a women's tourney. First match is announced.
Yes.
Now, you guys chime in the chat, Tiff. I want to know your opinion. First match announced is Serena Deeb versus Riho. Returning Riho to AEW. Should that have been kept a surprise? I feel like watching last night when they put the first match screen up, they just kind of announced it, and it was quick, 5 seconds. They talked. They said Serena Deeb's going to take on Riho, and then they moved out to something else. I'm like, okay, so Riho is back? Like, what? Like, why is she back? How is she back? No explanation. Just, nope, Serena Deeb's going to face Riho. That's it.
Well, I told you she moved to the States.
But I'm saying the TV, they didn't say anything about it. They mentioned the match for like 5 seconds, and that was it. I was like,
that's how they treat the women's division.
But I'm like, it's Riho. Like, she was the first women's champion, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Like, at a respect level, that it deserved like maybe a little bit more.
That should have kept a surprise. That match should not have been announced. They should have announced another match. Like,
that would have been interesting, right? Like, we have like next week, and Deeb is just standing in the ring, and like, okay,
Riho's music starts.
Who am I facing? And then Riho's music hits, and so it would be a cool like surprise. But I think a lot of people have been waiting for her to like return back. I mean, we've been talking about it for a while.
Yeah, now people are still gonna tune in.
I agree with you. Like, I do like the idea of like a surprise. Like, those are always the best. Like, oh, okay, she's back.
And they're gonna have crowd for this. Like, people, it's a live. Beach Break is live, so there's people gonna be in the ring, in the arena. They get to that certain capacity limit where it still sounds loud. You still get that pop. People would have popped crazy for Riho's music.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there going like, why? And they literally mentioned it for 5 seconds and moved on.
Yeah. Bill's in chat. He goes, I think it's a way to get people excited. He goes, I think we're gonna get a whole road to the Eliminator. So
you don't think people would have been excited if they put the graphic up of Serena Deeb versus mystery opponent? You know what I mean? Like a black silhouette with a question mark going, who is she going to face? Or if they just had like a single person, like just Serena Deeb on the screen, like Serena Deeb will be in the first match of the AEW World Tournament, the AEW Women's World Tournament.
Well, Brad says in the chat, people will tune in for this. Metal in chat says, I don't see how they're going to book that. You can't have the NWA champ lose, but Rio is coming back. And then Cooper said, here's a question. Are you going to bring women from Stardom or TJPW or maybe Coco Pro? Like, I said this even last week. I would love people from Stardom to come over because just how women's wrestling is over there. It's so different. But who knows how, it is to fly people over to the States now. Like, so.
We'll have to see.
I don't know.
But if Rio came over, you never know, right? So.
Even like Ray said, it would have been expected. People would have expected it to be Rio. I agree because we've been talking about it for weeks. Where is she? Where is she? Where is she? Like, maybe I wouldn't have been as surprised. Like, it would have been expected. I don't think it's a big. Or not
surprise. Even announce Serena. Just have, the graphic just said it starts next week. That's it. You know what I mean? Because they have already like other stuff planned for next week with Beach Break. I felt they kind of just ruined the return for Riho. Riho is a big person. This is not just like a bottom of the list women's wrestler in your division. This is like one of your best wrestlers you have on hand. Why is she not getting the big surprise pop factor?
But we got like bored of that too after a while with her being the champ. After a while, you and me were saying, if we go back to old episodes, that we're like, okay, like we're ready for a new champ.
Yeah. What's that got to do with her return?
Because you keep saying she's like this big thing.
But she is. So, we are tired of her being a champ, but she is one of the top wrestlers, the top stars in the division.
We need better women matches. That's all I'm gonna say.
But you're not. Are you agreeing? Like, are you yes or no? Like, she is a big star in the division. In the division we have right now, she's one of your biggest stars. Aside from Hikaru Shida, she's your biggest star.
Well, you're making Britt into this big star too now.
Good character and talking, wrestling, not there yet. Yeah. Not there yet.
But again, you got Ada J, who's getting pretty good. You got your girl Tay. Like, anyway,
but they weren't around last year.
Like, anyway, let's move on. Okay, like we're spending way too much time on this.
That's why we're here.
Let's talk about the main event.
Yeah, the four match show was actually done really well. Usually, like multi-man matches are a shit show sometimes, but this was really well done. And Dark Order looked good. Yeah. This was the best Dark Order match I've seen in a long time. And I thought last week was good. They got put over big time in this match. They lost, but the whole match, they were dominant. There were so many spots where they looked so good.
Tell me that you love John Silver more.
I can the
because
same.
He's so good. He's so good.
I know he's good, but like I don't know how more do you want me to like this guy? He's not gonna beat out Kenny Omega or Shawn Spears, my favorite wrestler.
Oh man, that'd be great. Where is Shawn Spears?
Well, there's that promo. Remember, he released out saying like like he kind of quit in a way. I don't know if that was legit or not. Remember, there's I couldn't tell if that was real or not. I don't know what's going on with him.
Brad said he's home.
He's what?
He's home.
So, anyways, yeah, this is a very good match. I mean, I guess you can call them the Bullet Club. They mentioned the Bullet Club name on TV now. Like they're just throwing shots every week. like Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows just mentioning Bullet Club. So I guess they win the match. I probably would have liked Dark Order to win in some way where the Good Brothers kind of cost the Young Bucks the match, like cost the team the match, because there's still that uneasiness between the two teams. And I think this would have been an opportunity to still put the Dark Order over and have them win the match by, something happening. Maybe like, the Good Brothers accidentally, quote unquote, costing the match for the Young Bucks, and the Good Brothers blaming the Young Bucks for the match. You know what I mean? I think they could have went in that direction, but they didn't. They went, the winning side, and the Young Bucks get on the mic. They bring up the Battle Royal. It's weird how I still find it weird that they're in the Battle Royal. So they say if they win the Battle Royal, they get to choose their opponents. And they kind of turn over and they look at the Good Brothers, and the Good Brothers are all for it. They're like, hell yeah, too sweet to that. And then Phoenix and Moxley come out for the beatdowns, and Omega comes out. Okay, I love Omega, but I was pissing myself laughing when he ran out of the tunnel, and I'm like, what's he holding? He's holding the boot from last week. I'm going to get you. And he's holding the boot up. And then he gets spiked paradigm shift into like another dimension, and, like, oh my God, I killed Kenny. You bastard. They killed Kenny. And actually, shout outs to Kenny for Your Thoughts podcast. Look at this thumbnail.
Oh my
they took
God.
our thumbnail, and Kenny put his damn head on there.
I died. I was like, I opened it up. I was like, what the? It's like, that's funny.
And we didn't kill Kenny. Let's be clear here. Kenny from Kenny for Your Thoughts podcast, he's alive. He ain't dead. We didn't kill him. Wasn't us. If it was anybody, it was Brandon, my boy Brandon, which I still think should be called Brandon for Your Thoughts, but that's another story. But that's how we end the show. So, what's going on with the world title? What's happening in Revolution? If it's not Hangman, is it Moxley again? Are we getting a rematch? Or are we... God, I feel like we're going to get the answer next week.
Yeah.
But I can't tell.
Yeah. So we get that rematch, Revolution, all right? And then what's after? Double or Nothing? Can we have like Pac versus Kenny Omega, please?
Oh, God. I if they would ever have another Iron Man match, I'd pay all my monies in my wallets to see that happen again, because that was the best match of 2020 in my eyes still.
It's so good. By the way, since
By the way,
I've officially put Pac on my list of husbands
Oh,
for like
God.
my AEW list.
You put that garden gnome on your
No, why? But I'm so for it.
Whatever floats your boat. I mean, probably from the neck down, right?
It's so weird because it's not like, the typical Tiffany type, but I don't know. Something about Pac. So he's on the list of husbands for AEW.
Well. How the turntables. Office fans will love that. What do you laugh
He wants to know when did I start liking elves?
Good question. Tiffany, answer? All right, just do that. One or the other. Okay, we'll talk about Beach Break, though. Kind of give like our mini prediction, I guess. So 4 confirmed, I guess. 3 confirmed matches in one event next week.
Kilroy.
Do I continue on or do I wait? Okay, we'll wait for Tiff to compose.
All right.
Okay. So Beach Break next week. Tag Team Battle Royal. Confirmed teams in that match. Top Flight, Private Party, FTR, Jungle Express, Young Bucks, the Acclaimed, Proud and Powerful, Sammy Hagar, Uno and Grayson, and Jericho and MJF. So interesting. Looking at this bat, I don't want the Young Bucks to win. There's a few teams in here that I could see winning if it's not the Young Bucks. Proud and Powerful would be cool. That'd be awesome if they're the ones to win and then take the belts off of Young Bucks, and then they can concentrate in the whole Bullet Club thing. It would be cool if Private Party wins. Like Big Money Matt mentioned, I think it was on Impact last week or BTE, that like he plans to have Private Party win this Battle Royal, win the tag team titles at Revolution, and win the tag team titles from the Good Brothers in the same month. Or I think they're facing the Good Brothers in February, so they would win the titles before
13,
that.
Right? I think it's the 13.
That would be. Oh, I don't know if that would be considered an overkill if Private Party had both belts. That's like a serious jump into the main picture of the show, though.
It would be great, but they are getting momentum, so.
I don't know. It kind of seems like the Young Bucks are gonna win, just because of what they did, and because if the Young Bucks don't win, you have to think out of all the rest of the teams here, who are the ones that are going to face the Young Bucks at Revolution? That makes sense.
Well, like I said, like just the way that it ended off last night, it kind of makes you really think like the Young Bucks are going to win. And how do you book your tag team champs not to win?
And
that's why I feel like if they shouldn't be in this, but of course with the storyline that's going on, I could see it going that route. If it goes a different route, I'm going to be very surprised.
Like there's teams here, like the Acclaimed have beef with the Young Bucks. Jericho and MJF think like they're the better team out of the Inner Circle and want to go for a title shot. Private Party is the thing with Big Money Matt. Top Flight would be cool. FTR, they want that rematch with the Bucks. Like there's a lot of teams in this match that have a good, claim to get another title shot.
Right.
And it's interesting. So I kind of I'm liking the tag team battle royal more and more next week because it makes the most sense. It's not just a put together match for the sake of it. There's a lot of meaning in this match.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in this. Ortiz and Santana, we've been saying deserve. Do
they ever need to be need to be split up from the Inner Circle and come back?
And I think that's what's going to eventually happen. I think they will get their time. I'm just waiting for it, and unfortunately it's probably not going to be now. I can see Sammy costing MJF and Jericho this next week, and that breaks Inner Circle up a little bit more. There's a lot of things that can go on in this.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, that's my kind of prediction. I feel like Young Bucks is going to win. Do I want them to win? No. But when I think about it, a lot of thought process with it, how it ended last night, you don't want to make your tag team champions lose. You don't, there's just a lot of meaning here,
And I think when we say Proud and Powerful should be back in the tag team division and split up from the Inner Circle, is because you guys remember when the Proud and Powerful were first signed to AEW. They were the hottest free agent tag team on the market. The whole LAX brand, they got over so huge. They were wondering people they could have gone to WWE. They could have gone back with Impact. They were a hot sought out team, and then they signed with AEW, and then they get put into Inner Circle. They kind of lost that flavor, if that makes any sense, that hype, the LAX brand. I think they need to get back to that. So I hope we see them go back in the tag team division after Inner Circle split up, and we get more of that because they deserve it. They are a really good team. They're very good storytellers. They're very good wrestlers. They're the complete package of a tag team. That's why AEW has the best tag team division on the planet. They have a lot of teams that are this way. So we'll see. It'll be interesting to see what happens next week. I'm interested to see what happens with Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker. So much hype behind this match. I really hope it lives up to the hype and something good comes out of it. I believe that this is probably going to be the number one contenders match, like without having a title over top of it. Whoever comes out of this is going to face Shida for the belt next, as opposed to the tournament, because I think the tournament is going to last probably longer. I'm assuming longer past Revolution. I don't think it's going to end at Revolution.
Maybe the finals will be at Revolution.
But I believe whoever wins this match will face Shida at Revolution for the belt. So, and I can't wait for the day. I think Thunder Rose is coming over. I think when her contract's done, she's coming over. She spent more time here and she has an NWA in the last couple of months.
But that's really because NWA hasn't really been doing anything.
I know they haven't been doing anything, but I think they're gonna throw all kinds of money at her. Like they're gonna be like, whatever you want, put it on this check and we'll sign you. Because they need her in that division.
It's a great opportunity to just keep moving.
Ford and Sabian's wedding. That's just gonna be entertaining as hell. I'm very curious to see how that happens. They're going to do something funny with Orange Cassidy. You know something's going to be done funny with Orange Cassidy. Whether he pops out of a cake.
That's what I was going to say. He's going to pop out of the cake.
Yeah. It's going to be something. It's going to be funny. And then Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers versus Moxley, Phoenix, and Pac. Man, that's going to be a fire main event. And again, we're probably going to get a good picture as to what Kenny's going to be doing for the world title after that. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, very, very good episode of Dynamite this week. Very much enjoyed it. And now we have Beach Break next week.
Yes.
So I'm thinking, Tiff, we'll have a beach theme next week here on the podcast for our video viewers. So I'll get something done. Cool.
Get your drinks and...
Yeah, you know what? Well, maybe we'll have... maybe we'll dress beachy next week. We'll have something done. I don't know how to dress beachy. I'm not saying we're going to be in swimsuits. I'm just saying, like, we'll have beach themes. I don't know. Do you have like a... What are those called from Hawaii? The flower things.
Oh, the leis?
Do you have a lei hanging around?
I might.
Yeah, just wear one. There you go. It's beach theme.
I think I've had I think for April's birthday.
I have a muscle shirt. Maybe I'll throw a muscle shirt on.
I don't even know where the hell
surfer
they are.
shirt.
Probably I'll look. I probably have one.
I actually think I have a Hawaiian shirt. Maybe I'll wear that.
I'll figure something out.
Yeah.
Maybe a flower in my hair or something like that.
We'll see. Anywho. Rehu. Guys, thank you for watching for the All Elite Podcast. We are live every Thursday night here on YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch. However you guys want to watch. Video versions are on YouTube after that. If you're watching back, thank you very much. Hit that like button. Smash it. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel. You're sharing us on all your social media accounts. Getting the word out there to the All Elite Podcast is the #1 fan source for fan discussions and analysis on everything AEW. Thank you very much to all you guys who tune in each and every single week here. I want to give a big shout out to our patrons on the No Holds Barred Network. That is MGB Graham, Kilroy, in the Bob Culture Podcast. Shout outs to you guys. You are our patrons. Here's your shout outs. Guys, sign up for the No Holds Barred Network. As little as $1 a month supports the No Holds Barred Network. You get access to exclusive content, instant access to giveaways, which we are going to be doing another giveaway soon. So you guys want to keep an eye on the All Elite Podcast because I have another idea for a giveaway and another gift card to give away. So make sure you guys tune into that. So make sure you are subscribed to the No Holds Barred Network Patreon, patreon.com/NHB Network. Sign up. We have cool podcasts on there called, one's called Free For All. Myself and Tiff do. It's really fun. You see another side to me and Tiff. You see our craziness here. Just wait till you see these podcasts.
Oh no, it's
free for all. Like everything's laid out on the line there.
It's worse.
Yeah,
it's bad. It's bad.
So
should we drop who
I was gonna say we have another episode being planned for your patrons right now. You have another episode coming, and it's gonna be coming next Tuesday. So this coming Tuesday, sorry. And Tiff's bringing along a friend.
Yeah,
we have a third guest, and it's an indie friend, Tiff.
Yes. It's our friend.
Do you want me to introduce her, or do you want to?
Go for it.
None other than independent wrestling star, Tiff's friend, Tiff's BFF, Casey Catal will be joining us on the Free For All. Can't wait to do this with her. We're going to go all out crazy on this podcast, so you guys are going to want to sign up for the No Holds Barred Network Patreon.
We're gonna have to drink during this.
Might have to. Yeah. It's gonna be crazy.
Give the inside scoop of what happened in Atlantic City.
I have gaming content actually being made. It's almost done. It's gonna be posted soon on the Patreon page. So for you patrons now and for you future patrons, it's gonna be up there soon. Other than that, that's gonna about do it, Tiff. Yes. I got nothing else here.
No, that's it. I have an Under a Ropes coming on this Sunday. So check that out. And again, like I said, support independent wrestling as well. So make sure you go check out that GCW show tomorrow. Starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it's on YouTube. It's free. So if you guys like wrestling and have nothing to do tomorrow, definitely it's 24 hours straight. If you can't sleep at 2 o'clock in the morning, go check it out. I'm telling you, it's gonna be good. So like you guys see, like you never know, you might see some people on it that been on Dark. So definitely I can't preach enough. So hopefully even like Kyle gets on board with this as well. So yeah.
So guys, any links you guys need to follow down below in the YouTube description below. You can check out our merch store. We actually got new merch up there, which I'll be making a posting soon on the All Elite Podcast Twitter and the No Holds Barred Network Twitter with advertising posters for the new merch. So go check that out. Other than that, Tiff, that's going to do it. I'm your self-proclaimed greatest host, Kyle Masters, always joined by my co-host. She's EVP Giggles, the Heartbreak Chick, the queen of the indies herself. That's Tiffany. And as always, guys, we're here to bid you adieu. So goodbye and good night. Bang.